Hey guys, welcome back. It's Krystal. So today I have a review and swatches for you guys on the long-awaited Viseart or Viseart palettes. Viseart. I'm not really sure how you pronounce these. Does anybody know? I've heard it like all three ways. So I usually just call them the Viseart palettes. I picked these up from Sephora back around the holidays, like Christmas time. So it's been a long while. I showed these in a Sephora haul video and a lot of you guys wanted me to review them. And it's taken me, what, 7 months almost? So I do apologize for slacking on getting the review video up for these, but I've really been testing them out a lot, trying to like go through each palette, really trying to figure out my thoughts about them. Now I have mentioned one of them before in like a favorites video, which is the matte one. I love the matte one, but yeah, we'll get into it in a minute. But these retail for $80 each, which is pretty pricey. These are made in France, and you can now get them on Sephora.com, but a lot of times they're always sold out. You get 12 eyeshadows in each palette, and they don't come with a mirror, but you can see all the eyeshadows through the packaging, which I do like. So I generally don't use the mirrors that come in these palettes anyways, or that come in eyeshadow palettes for the most part. So not having a mirror doesn't bother me. It might bother some people, but these retail again for $80. At the time of the Sephora VIB sale around the holidays, I got the palettes 20% off, so I was really happy about that. I think they ended up being like 60 some odd dollars or something. So I just wanted to really thoroughly use these so I could give you a full review. I will give you swatches. I just want to mention I'm using a new camera lens. It's a Canon 50mm lens. So it's kind of far from me. I hope the volume's okay. I'm using my ring light because I'm sitting at a different angle, giving you a different background. Now I have the camera on autofocus so that I can make sure I'm in focus, because obviously I don't have like a TV monitor to make sure I'm in focus. But the camera does kind of make a noise when it's autofocusing, so I hope you guys can't hear it. I hope this video comes out okay as far as volume, focus, lighting. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump right into the review of these. So let's start off with the palette that I do really like, and this is the all matte palette. So this one's called the Neutral Mattes 01. I think they just came out with one that's all mattes that's more colorful. So as you can see, they're all neutrals and they have a variety of shades. You get cool tones and you get warm tones, which I really like. This palette I have shown lots of love to, mostly the warm shades up here at the top. I'm holding it upside down. But yeah, I've used mostly the warm shades. I do use the cool tone ones, but just not quite as much. I really use this top row a ton. These three colors here I like to use as crease colors, and then this white I use as a brow bone highlight a lot of times because I'm very fair complected. But they blend out beautifully. They have awesome pigmentation. So if you're going to get any of these palettes, I highly recommend the matte one, the neutral matte one. I think this is a really good one. For me, it's well worth the price because I use it in combination with a lot of other eyeshadows or eyeshadow palettes, and I really just give this palette a lot of love. So I love this palette a lot. It is my favorite of the bunch. So my next favorite is this one. This is the Bridal 03 palette. I love this one as well. This one just gives you a variety of colors and some neutrals. So as you guys know, if you've been watching me for a while, I love purple eyeshadow. So you get like a row of purple, a pink, you get a row of like cool tone blue shades. You also get some neutrals over here in this area here. You have like a silver, like a taupe, bronzy brown, just like a basic brown, and a peachy color, and kind of like a golden, a really light golden color here. So I do like this palette. Now all the colors in this palette are shimmery. There's no matte colors. So just keep that in mind. But that's where the matte eyeshadow palette comes into play. I like to use that one in conjunction with other palettes like this one here. So I love that this one has neutrals but also has some colorful shades. And these are all colors that I would reach for. Maybe not so much the blue ones as much as the rest, but I do like the shades in this palette. And so this is my second favorite. So I have two more here, and these are really not favorites of mine. These are actually ones I considered returning numerous times, but now it's been far too long to return them. I'm still trying to make use of them, but I don't know what it is. I think it's the colors in here are kind of muted. Maybe it's the combination of colors in each palette. I don't know what it is. There's something about these that I don't gravitate towards them. I don't gravitate towards them, maybe because of the combination of colors in each palette. But this one here is called the Sultry Nudes 05. So this palette has some hits and misses in it, and again, all the shades have shimmer to them. There are no mattes in here. For instance, this like white one right here, I just feel like it's very chalky, and I don't know, I don't like the texture of it at all. I don't think it applies well to the lids. This one has a lot of neutrals. For the most part, it's pretty neutral actually. I don't know. So the eyeshadows have really good pigmentation, but when I apply them to the eyes, I just feel like they're kind of muted colors. Like, they don't give me as much color payoff as like an Urban Decay eyeshadow would, and I personally like that. I like something that's more pigmented, that really pops. But for me, these are kind of just muted, kind of a little bit dull once I apply them on the lid. For instance, I used, let's see, I think I used this palette today. Yes, I used these two colors today. I put this one on the lid and then this one in the crease. And when I got done with the look, I was just like really not wowed by it. It just kind of looked muted and dull, like I said. Like, they have shimmer to them and they look really pretty swatched. But when I apply them to my lids, I just feel like they're not as shimmery as I personally would like. Now, that's just a preference of mine. If you're somebody who likes kind of like a light wash of color, or you like your looks to be a little bit more subtle, wearable looking, I think these palettes would be great for you. But that's what I've struggled with these. It's just the pigmentation is good, but it's just a little too muted for my liking. So I don't know how else to explain it besides that, but it's pretty much the case with this one and the next one. So let me just show you. So here's the swatches on my hand, and they look beautiful and really pigmented and metallic on my hands, but I don't know, there's just something when I apply it to my eye, I'm just not wowed by them. I'm just not, I don't know what it is. I just feel like they look so much more beautiful swatched on the back of my hand than they do on my eyelids. So the fourth palette I have is called the Paris Muse or Muse. It's M-U-S-E, and it's the number 06 palette. So this is a palette that I thought I might like because it does have some colors in here that I like. They look very purpley, mauve colors, but then there's also some really weird colors that I'm just not really like drawn to. For instance, that color there, this color here, maybe like this color and this color. I don't know. I just don't see anything special about them. I don't really want to reach for them. But these purpley mauve colors here are really, really pretty looking. But I have the same problem with this palette. I just feel like the colors are dull, they're muted, they're not as pigmented or intense, or they're just lacking something. I can't even explain it to you guys. I don't know. But like I said before, if you're somebody who likes like a more subtle look once you apply the shadows to the lid, then you may like these palettes. But for me, there's something lacking. I'm not that wowed by them. So, but like before, I swatch them. They look amazing on the hand. They look really, really pretty. So I've tried using like certain colors with the matte shadows. I've tried using them with other shadows, but I don't know. I just can't make them. I can't be impressed by these no matter what I do with them. I've applied them wet. I've applied them over like an eyeshadow base. They're just not wowing me. So I really wish I would have taken back at least these two here, because these two are my least favorites. But as far as the other two go, I do like those more. I think because this bridal palette has darker colors in it, the pigmentation's a little bit more what I like, and I think that's why I like this one versus the other two. So like I said in the beginning, if you're gonna pick any of these four palettes up, I highly recommend the matte palette. Now that's if you want to splurge and spend $80 on a palette, but there's also one from Sonia Kashuk that has similar colors to this, which I find is very comparable. Maybe not exact dupes, but It does have very similar colors because it has cool tones and warm tones. So that's another option for you guys. I did do a review on that palette. I think it's called Ion Neutral palette. I will link my review for that down below. It's really an old video, but that's another option, you know, if you want something similar to this one but don't want to spend the $80. And the other one I recommend is this one, which is the Bridal palette. But you have to be someone who likes these types of colors to want the Bridal palette. So if you're not really drawn to these colors, then I would skip out altogether as well. But yeah, that's it. So thank you so much for watching. Again, I hope the lighting, the volume, the autofocus, I hope everything's okay. Let me know how you like this background. I don't know, I'm just testing it out. I prefer to sit in front of the window, to be quite honest, but I just get bored of the same background all the time. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I hope you have an amazing day. Bye!